This is John McQuay with 8541 Tactical. I'm sitting here on the back porch today, and we're going to cover a real quick topic that I get a lot of questions on, and that's this little guy right here. This is the 168 grain Federal Gold Medal Match round. It's topped with a 168 grain Sierra Match King bullet. Now, the source of contention is not if this is accurate, because it is a very accurate round. It's been used very successfully in high-power shooting. It's been used very successfully by military snipers for quite some time. Now, what we run into very often is the question on if this is a good round for 1,000-yard competition or just 1,000-yard target shooting. And you get people on both sides of the line. You will get people that say, no, it's horrible. You can never shoot to 1,000 yards with this round. And then you have people on the other side of the fence that insist you can. Well, my personal experience on it is that, yes, you can shoot to 1,000 yards with this cartridge. If you are at sea level, when you shoot 1,000 yards with this, the bullet will be subsonic, even through a 26-inch barrel, by the time it hits that 1,000-yard target. Now, the problem with the 168 grain Sierra Match King is the bullet is not designed to make the transition from supersonic speeds to subsonic speeds well. This is called going transonic. What happens when you get out to extended distances is the bullet has to come back through those shock waves. It has to drop from supersonic speeds to subsonic speeds before it impacts the target. Because the 168 grain Sierra Match King does not make this transition well, it can go unstable when it drops to subsonic. This will cause the bullet to start to either tumble or wobble or do all kinds of strange things. And we know this because when we observe the impacts on the target, you'll frequently see what we call keyholing. And that's where the bullet slams into the target at a direction other than point on. It may hit a little bit sideways, it may hit all the way sideways, and it will cut an oblong hole through the target. It will still hit the target. Now, the thing that you have to keep in mind is the best way for the bullet to hit the target, the most accurate mode, is point forward straight through the target. When you start to get this wobble, the flight path will start to open up a little bit, and it's not going to be the most accurate way to engage the target. Now, other bullets, such as the 175 grain Sierra Match King, they make the transition from supersonic to subsonic better, and in the same conditions, you'll see that bullet punch a nice round hole through the target because it's still flying point on. So we come back to, can you shoot this at 1,000 yards? Well, yes, you can. However, it's not the best choice. So if all you have is the 168 grain loadings, then rock on, shoot them. You've still got a pretty good chance of hitting your target. You're not going to make any world bench rest records with the 168 grain Match King, but you're still capable of doing it. I managed to somehow pass my sniper qualification shooting 168 grain Match King based ammunition. Now, if you are choosing ammunition and you're going to standardize on one bullet to shoot from 100 to 1,000 yards, I would not suggest using the 168 grain Match King as your choice. I would suggest something more along the lines of the 175 grain Match King, the 178 grain Hornady Bulktail Hollow Point, 155 grain Lapua Sinar. There are a bunch of other bullets out there that are better for it. Now, for those of you that do not have a 1,000-yard range, that may only get to shoot to 600 yards, 168 grain Match King will get it done. At 600 yards, the bullet is still going supersonic, it is still stable, and it will punch you a nice round hole through the target. And the 168 grain Match King and the 168 grain Federal Gold Medal Match cartridge is a very accurate cartridge. It's extremely good to use for those distances. So if that's all you're stuck at and you got a good deal on 168 grain Match Kings, then go for it. Another more cost-effective option to the 168 grain Match King is the 168 grain no slur custom competition. They are almost exact duplicates of the Match King, and they're a little bit less expensive. So if you're a hand loader and you're looking for something to load that is equivalent to the 168 grain Match King, that's a good option. So when you hear the internet battles going on about you can't shoot a 168 grain bullet at 1,000 yards, well, that's just not true. You can, and you can do it accurately. However, there are better options out there. Now, when you start getting up into elevation, if you get up high enough and your conditions are right where the 168 grain Match King can stay supersonic to 1,000 yards, then it's going to perform very well. But most of us down here in the lower elevations, we're better served by a bullet with a better ballistic coefficient. So that's my take on it. I hope it clears it up a little bit. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below or send them to us on Facebook or Twitter. And as always, if you're a subscriber, thank you. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And until next time, get out and shoot.